everybody. I'm Jen.
Hi, I'm Renee.
And this is Marriage Plus Business. And we have a couple of guests that are amazing. In fact, they are the amazing Clarks. It is Anthony and Melanie Clark, whom I have met through the Susie Carter tribe. And oh my gosh, these two are on fire. And they've been on multiple shows, including Black Love, which is on the Oprah Winfrey OWN network, which is amazing. And like I just told them, I've been stalking them, and are just a great couple with a great story. They help married couples, and a lot of times people will ask us all the time, like, how do you guys do it? How do you not argue? How do you still act like newlyweds even though you've been together, married for 10 years and together for 13? And it's like, I don't know, we just are. We don't, I mean, we try to respect each other and do all those positive things, but we don't like try to analyze, well, why exactly I think what it is that I'm just married to a unicorn, and he's sticking all ways, right? So lucky me, I got a unicorn. Yay.
Good job.
Good job.
Those are hard to find these days.
Yes, they are.
Right? Okay, gang. So tell us about you, and I mean, there's so much to ask, but I love the story of how you met. If you could kind of give a brief summary of how you met, how you guys got together, but most importantly, how did you two become the amazing Clarks and now like taking the world by storm? If you don't mind.
Okay. Do you want to start?
No, you got to start.
So Anthony and I met after we left former relationships. We were both married in our 20s, and we got divorced in our 20s. So after those divorces, we both felt like we tried to be very traditional in how we approached love and relationship, and it did not work out very well. So when we met each other, that was a big focal point of our conversation, and it really bonded us. We talked a lot about that first night we met in the club. We were out having a good time, enjoying our lives because we were single. Honestly, neither one of us wanted another relationship. We were having relationship with ourselves. We were loving ourselves, and we were just having fun. Yeah. And then we met each other.
Yeah. And from the very first night that we met at the nightclub, our conversation immediately went to spirituality. And this was like almost 30 years ago. So to find anyone back then that you can have a conversation about spirituality with was another unicorn. So, yeah. So when we had that conversation at night, literally all night long, we didn't dance. We just had drinks and just talked all night. And the chemistry was amazing. I immediately fell in love with Melanie's mind. And it was like, even though we weren't looking for a relationship, we both knew that we would have love one day, true love. And so immediately for me, it was like, oh man, I think she might be the one. I'm not ready for that yet, but I think she's the one. Yeah. So that was our first night. Yeah. But one thing I'd like to say, I'm Mr. Politically Incorrect, so get ready.
Yes, he is.
We broke all the rules. So when it comes to like couples, they tend to be traditional roles. And after our first marriages, we were committed to being authentic and to not doing things traditionally, following our spirit. And so that first night, Melanie bought me a drink, which is something that women are told you're not supposed to do, which I loved, which she stood out for me because of that. And we talked all night, like I said, about spirituality, and we even had sex on the first night. So after breaking all the rules, here we are almost 30 years later.
Yes.
Yes.
Bravo. Yay.
We were grown-ups doing grown-up things when we met each other. And we were both okay with that. And you know, that talk that night, we talked about energy and spirituality. Like Anthony said, no one was talking about energy back then. No one was talking about how energy worked. And we were really analyzing ourselves because those marriages we were in didn't work. And we were trying to figure out, like, what do we need to change about ourselves? How do we need to grow? It can't be, there was two people in the relationship. What was my role? And as we looked at ourselves, it just opened up like so many thoughts, so many ideas. And when we met each other and we were in the same place in life, it was just like two kids in a candy store, so excited to share and to talk to each other.
And you know, and one more thing I'd like to add too, which was, I think was amazing about it, was that we both had a similar mindset. Even though we knew we would find love and we didn't want it right away because we were so busy enjoying our own lives at the time, living our best life, that we both had the same perspective that we didn't just want a partner, we wanted a soulmate. We didn't just want a relationship, we wanted bliss. Yeah. And if we couldn't have that, then we were perfectly fine with remaining single.
Yeah.
And so it was great that we both had that perspective and we stuck to it. And that's exactly what we have today. We're very blessed.
Yeah. So the second part of your question was, how did we decide to work together and how did we become the Amazing Clarks? So Anthony had been a dating coach for men and he was helping. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to tell that part?
Okay. Have you guys ever seen the movie Itch?
I've seen parts of it. I've seen parts of it, definitely. Yeah.
With Will Smith? Yeah.
It's a Will Smith movie.
Do I need to go see that?
Actually, we should.
Great movie.
Yeah, but go ahead, please.
But that movie, to the T, was my story. To the T. To this day, I'm still convinced that somebody got a hold of my story and turned it into a movie.
Oh, man. That's incredible.
Yeah. So after my divorce, my first marriage, after I got divorced, and in that marriage, when I got divorced, for one, I married my college girlfriend, and we did not get along. And I'm originally from New York, so I came to California, met her in college. We immediately moved in together, and we're fighting like cats and dogs. To make a long story short, we kept breaking up and getting back together. Then eventually she came back and said, I'm pregnant with twin boys, and they're yours. And at the time, I was pursuing an athletic career in baseball and basketball, a professional career. And so I was honest with her. I was like, you know, we weren't together. We were doing our thing. Were you doing your thing? She's like, no, they're yours, they're yours, they're yours. Make a long story short, which is a little too late. I married her because I thought it was the right thing to do, even though we didn't get along, even though I knew she wasn't the one. It turned out that the kids were not mine. After they were born, and after almost 4 years of marriage. And
Wow.
yeah, so after that, I hit rock bottom. And at one point, I even was a little suicidal. It was like, here I am, 23, 24. I lost the twins. They were the love of my life. I lost my athletic career, which I worked for all my life. My marriage was over. So it was like rock bottom.
Oh,
But I knew that the woman for me was still out there. And I knew that I had to be the best me possible because she was going to be amazing. So I started doing my work, my spiritual work, growing emotionally, mentally, learning everything that I could about relationships and love and how to make it work. And I got so good at it that other men start coming to me going, dude, how are you getting all these chicks? I want to learn how to do that. And so I started teaching guys. And they gave me the nickname, the game doctor. In that movie, he was the date doctor. My name was Doctor.
Look.
So I started teaching guys. That turned into like a little side business coaching, little side business. And so when I met Melanie, I immediately realized that even though she wasn't a coach, she had all the skills. She was a natural. And I kept telling her, hey, we're going to work together. I can see it. You're amazing. You just don't know it. She was like, no, that's your thing. I'm not a coach. But I was like, okay, I'm going to keep holding that vision. One day we're going to work together. And I started expanding from single men to couples because my goal was really to change the world. And if I'm going to do that, it starts with changing families. It starts with changing parents.
Mm-hmm.
So Melanie eventually came in and started coaching with me. And that turned into our coaching practice. And that was almost 22 years ago. And then every time we would coach people, they were like, oh my God, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. And so one day we were working with a production company for TV. And I realized that when they were looking for experts to be on the show, relationship experts, they had a long list. And they would go through that list and Dr. Drew and Dr. Phil and Mr. So-and-so. And at the time, they were like the Clarks. And I was like, we need something with more punch. And it was like, wait a minute, everybody always says we're amazing. the Amazing Clarks.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when we did that, people were like, the Amazing Clarks. So then they would go through the list and they'd be like, Dr. Phil, Mr. Smith, the Amazing Clarks. The Amazing Clarks? What is that? A vaudeville act? A circus act? What is that? But it caught their attention.
Yeah.
And then we realized with our tagline, they call us the Amazing Clarks because we empower people to live amazing lives. So it wasn't really about us being amazing. It was about everybody being amazing and us just letting them know, giving them permission, other people, to embrace their amazingness.
Yeah. And for me, I had always wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be a novelist. I was working as a dental assistant. I wasn't interested in coaching because I'd never heard of it, for one thing. But I'd always kind of given advice to my friends about anything they needed advice on. And people started coming up to us saying, like, there's something going on between the two of you and your energy. You guys seem like newlyweds, kind of like your story, right? Like, what are you guys doing? And I would just say, we're loving each other. We're loving each other unconditionally. And I realized people didn't know how to love unconditionally. There were always conditions. And at one point, Anthony was in a band and he was creating music, and the wives in the band were always struggling with their husbands, like with them touring or with them being on stage and groupies and stuff. And I was like, he needs you more than ever to love him and support him and not give him a hard time. And if you're doing that, then those groupies, they have no hold over him. Like, you have to step it up. So I kind of started coaching the wives. And then, then he and I would talk about it. And then we started coaching, like he said, we started coaching couples. But I really got involved because I just started remembering growing up how adults would fight in front of kids and how adults would think kids don't know what's going on. I knew everything that was going on.
Oh, yeah.
I knew everything. And so I just decided, like, we have to help people understand that their kids are being affected by their marriage, by their relationships. And they don't get that. They think they're invisible, but they're not. And then we started learning more about law of attraction. The movie The Secret came out. And that just brought it all together for me, like energy, frequency, vibration. And then once we got that piece and we started incorporating, like teaching people energy, how are you attracting what you're attracting from each other? Why are you attracting each other? What is your soul trying to help you see in yourself through your partner who's a mirror? And so all of these concepts just started downloading, and we just created a coaching program, and people just started coming like crazy. And we literally got spiritual guidance. Our spirit told us, you guys it's really important that you teach love, and you have to give people hope. They're going to lose hope. You have to give them hope, and you guys have to educate, and you have to be entertaining. And that's what we ended up being. We just stepped right into it, and it just came really natural for us.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
That is amazing.
You know what's kind of cool? We're doing the same thing on the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
So real briefly, Renee and I met in dance class 13 years ago. We got married in the ballroom that we met at.
Aw,
Nice.
sweet.
And that was 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, right, like only a month apart from our wedding date to our business date, we started the West Coast Swing Dance Company. So we're dance teachers when COVID's not happening.
Nice.
We find that we help people who are in transition. What I mean by that is they are either newly single, newly divorced, the kids just left the house, they're new to the area, new job, something new in their life needs to be turned over, and they're seeking dance.
They're really seeking some kind of outlet or connection.
Yeah. I could see that.
Gives you that, like, literally that physical contact with no frills, no commitments, no worries. It's expected that you're gonna make some kind of eye contact, hand contact, depending on the dance, certain body contact.
We teach West Coast Swing. That's our jam.
Yeah, so it's very much an outlet for people to, in so much as explore, trying to meet someone. It's also a good way to get out of your own head and just start over, pick up, start going out, start meeting new people, start maybe, letting that circle overlap into other circles. So it's really been, I think it's therapeutic for a lot of people in that respect. If it was like me, I got into it because of a girl, not trying to leave, but that's a different story. Maybe I'll talk about that. But all kinds of dance is so.
It's a deep connection.
Yeah.
It's energy. It's an exchange of energy. It is lifting each other up. It is that whole thing. It's the law of attraction.
Yep.
And I got lucky because when I saw this one in dance class, I was like, oh, hello. While for him to notice me. And then finally, after 6 months, I was like you, Melanie. I'm like, you're kind of cute. If I was somebody, I'd be interested in you. And that's when he woke up. I'm like,
oh. Okay. Hey, you gotta, hey, if you want something, you gotta let it be known that that's what you want,
I think adorable because when you guys start talking about dancing, which is obviously your passion, you both just lit up.
Light up.
And it's just like this energy between you. That's just like, that's beautiful to see.
It's awesome. And you know what? Also with dance, you're exchanging the masculine and the feminine energy. And women, a lot of times in our society, because we have so many working women, they have a hard time recognizing how to switch back into feminine energy. So a lot of times women will take dance class so that they can learn to let go and learn to let a man lead. Like I hear women say all the time, he needs to step up. He needs to step up. And I'm like, well, you got to get out the way or he's going to step on you.
right?
Or in his spot. You
bring up a really great point. This is okay. So we specialize in teaching beginners, right?
Okay.
And so a lot of the people that we attract, because we're in Monterey, Carmel, Pacific Grove, Pebble Beach, we have a lot of folks who are baby boomers, and they are either looking to rekindle their romance or meet someone new, right? And we'll find that because culturally in the United States, women, doesn't matter what their background is, usually women are encouraged since they're little girls to be dancers. Now, as far as men goes, depending on the culture, if you're Filipino or Latino, if you are African American, if you are Asian, you are encouraged to dance. But if you're a white boy, you aren't encouraged to dance so much. And so there are a lot of men who will come into our dance classes. Again, I'm saying this as if it's current. It's not because of COVID, and I miss it terribly. But when they come to dance class, these men, they have built businesses, they have built families, they're oftentimes captains of their industry, and then we're asking them to dance. So it's like they're 5-year-old boys again.
Yeah, I could see that.
And we have to, and so when Renee is off teaching the guys the basic moves on the first night, I'm like, ladies, gather round, come close. Let me tell you something. Be gentle on them because they're learning something new, and they're here because they want to see this from you.
Yeah.
We need to be gentle and we need to be encouraging, because just as if we're teaching a baby how to walk, we have to be kind, we have to be patient, because girls, we pick this stuff up like this because we've been trained since we were little, but the guys not so much. And so we have to have patience, and sometimes that patience requires a year, 2 years. After like 2 years, the guys figure it out. They've got to figure out their body mechanics. Where is the music? Where is the rhythm? What are the steps? Where is her weight? All these things. And then finally, when they get it, they're like, oh, and then they skyrocket, and then they leave the girls in the dust.
I could see that. They're focused. They know how to focus. That's awesome.
You know what? Years ago, we made each other a promise. Well, actually, I kind of pushed Melanie into it, that we were going to take ballroom dancing lessons. And it was like, I want us to go places and just bust out in this incredible dance. Freak everybody out. But we're still going to do it. I still definitely want to do it.
Oh, we're going to sign up to be your teachers. We're doing it.
Would love that.
Look up swing. I would recommend West Coast Swing. It's such a versatile dance that If you're in a bar where there's nothing more than the postage stamp size space,
Mm-hmm.
you can adapt that dance into that area.
Mhm.
If you are listening at a place, or well, not so much now, dining and listening to jazz, we can't do that enclosed, but just go with follow me. If you're listening to jazz, you're listening to hip hop, you're listening to funk, you're listening to rock,
Old
this
school
dance
R&B, the Beatles,
really can accommodate all of those. It just
any
depends where
music.
you're at.
any music
Yeah.
that you like.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it.
I love it. I mean, there's an aspect to dance that I am a lot more clued into, because I think because I'm an artist, I relish in being able to, and I've never lost sight of this, to still be childlike and have a certain wonder about everything I do, and my art allows me to do that, because I'm studied and learned it enough to
Mhm.
understand certain principles of art and to know the craft on a technical level. But then once you have that, then you are free to then venture into like exploration or imagination.
Mhm.
And that to me is like the best state of mind to be in. That condition is like when you're a child. It's like at 5 years old, something gets pulled out from under us, and we're
Mhm.
like, you lose that. So I've seen how dance can take 50 and 60-year-old men and turn them into kids again.
Yeah.
I think that's an awesome mentality to have
Yeah.
when you're going through life, is not to be entirely like a child, because no one wants to, be
At
married
least-
to a child.
At least
but
don't be like a toddler.
yeah, but to have that, I think that little sparkle, it's like, oh, you remember that? And that's what dance is. That's what I've seen. That's what I figured. And that's what I kind of grasp onto. It's like at a certain point, we're like kids enjoying the moment and being in the moment and then having fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing when we're coaching. We're doing the exact same thing because we coach together. We tap into each other's energy, and I'll be talking and he'll always say like, get out of my head. She's saying exactly what I was going to say. And we just know how we have this volley back and forth. And even when we speak, we're on the stage at the same time, which is really rare. It's generally one person and then they leave and then the next person comes in, but we don't do it like that. We're both on the stage and we're sharing the information because it's an energy, and we're sharing it back and forth with each other like a dance, and people just get mesmerized by it because they haven't seen people, share energy so easily, and it's play for us. We're not trying. We don't have to try. It's just natural for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I agree.
And so that's one of the reasons we love working together. It's so funny. After we do a coaching session, he'll always say to me, I love coaching with you.
Aw.
And I'll say, I love coaching with you too. Or we'll tell each other, like, that was some amazing coaching. Like Anthony will say some stuff sometimes. I'm like, whoa, that was awesome, and we just share that.
Yeah, and we both do that with each other. And when we're coaching, in all honesty, we're channeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when we're channeling, we're honored to be vessels, to have this energy come through us that's able to bring happiness to people's lives, help people to heal, help couples to love again, so the whole process, we agree. What we do is very similar to what you guys are doing. You guys are just doing it in a different way.
Yeah, doing it with dance.
We had a funny story I want to share real quick. A couple of years back, we were doing consultations for Match.com. And single people would call and they would get like a few 15-minute consultation with us. And it was this guy from New Jersey named Norman. And Norman called us. And Norman's conversation went like this. Hey guys, I'm Norman. And I recently got divorced after being married for 25 years. And now I'm dating again. And I can't find anyone because everybody I meet is boring. And I was like, Norman, can I be honest with you? He was like, yes. I was like, it's the law of attraction. The reason you keep meeting boring people is because you're boring. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, Norman, what do you do for passion? What do you love doing? What do you mean, like skydiving or something? I go, no, what do you do for life? Don't, right now, don't worry about dating. Please don't do that to any woman right now. Don't date. Don't do that. What's your passion? And he was like, well, I don't have a passion, but wait a minute. A couple of weeks ago, me and my buddy crashed a wedding, and we were dancing. We were doing this dance, merengue. We were doing that, blah, 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 and he just lit up. We were like, Norman, that's your passion, dancing.
Dance, Norman, dance.
And he was like, you think so? I was like, yeah. He goes, well, actually, I used to really love dancing, but when I got married, my wife said it was stupid, and I stopped. And
oh, that is hard.
He was like, I gave it up. And he was like, Norman, right now, don't date. Just go dance.
Dance, Norman.
So he was like, I'm going to do it. So a month later, he reached back out to us. We're like, Norman, how's it going? How's the women? I'm not even thinking about any women. I'm dancing. I'm in tournaments. I'm loving my life. Women are all over me. I'm like, no. It's like right there, baby.
No,
Oh my gosh.
That's a great story. Yeah,
Isn't
I think
it?
it's true. When you focus on yourself,
Yeah.
then you become something, or you add something to yourself that maybe was not there before, that then becomes this attractive quality in whatever, lots of different ways to define attractiveness, but you bring something, right? And
Yeah.
if you love it, then you'll attract like. So
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, his wife left him. And after having an affair, she left him. And she left him because he lost his passion in life. His passion was dancing. He gave it up.
Yeah. He should have never given it up. He should have just done it
Yeah.
without her if she was not into it. He still could have danced. But part of what we do, we don't just coach couples, we coach people in every aspect of life. And we get a lot of single people that come to us wanting a partner. And one of the things that we do, one of our hacks is tap into your dream stream. Whatever your dream is, whatever that thing that you love, that's your passion. If you allow yourself to do that or watch it or whatever, that energy will show up in your vibration and you'll attract someone that sees you, that sees that in you. And most single people are focused on, it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. There's no one good. And then they're not working on themselves and they're not in their passion. So they show up like Norman did on that call where they're boring. There's no life. There's no energy in there. And so the reason we asked him, what's your passion, is we knew if we could light Norman up, his energy would light up. He would attract a partner. He would attract someone to have a relationship that was not boring because he was not being boring. And people don't realize that. People take their dreams and their passions, they tuck them away and they say, I can't do that because it doesn't make money, or it's a waste of time, or it's childish, or it's silly. And we literally limit ourselves. We limit our light. We're light beings and our light shines. And when we tuck away our God-given gifts, we dull our own light. So part of our coaching is always asking people, what's your dream? What's your dream stream? What's your passion?
Right. And in that situation, what he was doing, he was trying to use relationships to fill his void.
Mm-hmm.
And a relationship, somebody else can't fill your void for you.
No.
That's why it's called self-fulfillment. You have to do it. You have to fill your own void. I love Melanie to death. Together almost 30 years, still madly in love. But Melanie does not fulfill me. Nor is it possible for Melanie to fulfill me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's wrong to even give her that assignment to try to fulfill me. Likewise, I don't fulfill her. Nor is it possible for me to fulfill her. So in our relationship, our job first and foremost is to take responsibility for our own happiness, our own fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get two people together that are self-fulfilled, it's easy to build a great relationship on top of that.
Yeah.
But when couples are like, you need to fill my void, you need to do this and act like this in order to make me happy, it doesn't work.
And that even works in us working together as business partners. We have the amazing Clarks together, but I also have my own company where I do consulting. And I love that. I want to have my own thing. I want to make all the decisions. I want to do it exactly how I want to do it. I don't want to have to, confer with him on what I should do. I want to do whatever I want to do. So I created that space for myself. He has the same thing. He has his own company where he does things the way he wants to do them without my input. And then we have business together. And that makes it a lot easier because It's easier for us to share in decisions in the Amazing Clarks because we're super fulfilled by running our own companies exactly how we want to run them. And so I think that's really important too, especially if you're married and you're going to work together. You have to really make a point to have your own thing. You can't just be just the two of you because you lose yourself in that. You get lost in that, and then you count on that person to fill your void, and they can't do it. And that starts.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, we each need our own sandbox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%, 100%. So.
I think.
You know what I love is I think they're helping me understand why we're so happy. I mean, again, I haven't been able to like, and people think, are you guys fake? Are you guys putting it on? It's like, no, we're genuinely happy.
Yeah.
You know what, you guys are, you're spelling it out for me. Yes, when we first met in dance class 13 years ago, I was just releasing my first album. So I was pursuing my lifelong dream of being a rock star. And I did qualify for the Grammy nominations, didn't make much money, but I did start a really successful marketing agency because of what I learned, right? And so he was with me from day one of meeting me, knowing that I was going to pursue my dreams come hell or high water, don't get in my way. And he had the steady job as I was launching this marketing agency that wasn't always so profitable, right? At the first years, it was a rough one, right? Especially in the middle of the Great Recession, which it'll be interesting to see what we call this new recession, the COVID recession. But similarly, you know, he's always been passionate about his art. He's always had the graphic design, commercial printing job that was steady. He was at the same employer for over 20 years. And he was like, you know what, I really want to be a full-time artist. And finally, Rockstar Marketing got to be a point where, yes, he can be a full-time artist, no problem. Of course, he does help my clients, which is great because his talent is so amazing. And so it's just been great knowing that, you know, we're in this together. So I'm like supporting him and lifting him up, wanting him to be the artist that he's always wanted to be because he's good.
Yeah.
And he just
passion.
And he never got in my way. So of course I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm with you, Melanie. I love buying the drinks. I love being CEO. I love being the boss. But you know what? I really love it when he's the boss. I think it's great.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. And why can't you have it all? You can.
That's true. Yeah.
We can have it all. I'm the same as you. I love being in charge, but I also love letting go and being like, okay, you run stuff. I'm going to chill for a minute, you know?
Exactly.
I think it's important that we recognize that just because we're married doesn't mean that we get to control each other's lives and tell each other what we can and cannot do. If Anthony wants to do something, I want to support that. It's not my job to tell him, no, you shouldn't do that. It's his life. At the end of life, it's going to be him who has the regrets, not me. So I want to support what he wants to do, and he does the same thing for me.
And you know, and even with us working together now, and over the last 22 years working together, we actually manifested this way before that. We started tapping into the law of attraction even before we understood what the law of attraction was. We were actually using it. And we both worked in the prison system with the California Department of Corrections, right? And I was a state correctional officer, and Melanie worked dentistry in the prisons. And we were together, and I got in first, and then once I got in, I helped her to get in. And we didn't like that we had splits, like our shifts were so different that we couldn't spend the time that we wanted with each other. So she would have Saturday and Sundays off. I would have Monday and Tuesday off.
Oh, wow.
That's hard.
I'd have to work, you know, graveyard shift where I'd see her for a couple of hours, and it was like, even though this is my career and I killed myself to get into this career, I don't want to spend the rest of my life like this. I don't want us to be missing each other. That defeats the whole point.
Yeah.
And I want a life where we can be together. In fact, I want a life where we can work together, where we can be partners. And we didn't know on what or how, but it was like, that's what we want.
Yeah.
Let's focus on that. Let's give that energy. And eventually, after about 7 years, it was like, I'm not willing to do this anymore. I don't care how much money I make. It's not worth it. I get one life to live. I want to live my best life.
Yep.
And so I told her, I'm going to resign. She was like, you sure? I was like, yeah. She's like, I'll do it too. And we took that leap of faith.
Mhm.
And was it scary? Oh, hell yeah. But I'm so glad that we did it because it was the best move we could have made.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a
We-
great story.
Yeah, we took a leap of faith on ourselves. We believed in ourselves and we believed we could do it, and we didn't care how long it took. We raised kids with one working full time, the other one working on the business, learning, growing together. And it was even great for the kids. Our kids grew up going to board meetings and learning marketing, and they're all grown up and they love entrepreneurship. Like they just love it because they grew up in it, you know, and they love seeing when we're out today. They're so supportive. They're like, we watched you guys build this and you guys did it. You said you were going to do it and you did it. So,
Right. So yeah,
it's
so
been
it's
great.
funny when people see us now, they're like, oh, you guys on TV, overnight sensation. It's like, are you crazy? Are you kidding me? Overnight?
So,
This was one long night.
yeah,
That was
this
overnight.
is a 20-year night.
Yeah, that's so funny because people scroll and all of a sudden they just see you right then and there and think, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's instant.
They're everywhere. They've made it. It's like, well, let me tell you how much money I've spent.
But that road
Let me-
is like
Yeah.
filled with so many different stops here, pursuing this, and then pivoting, and then discovering what you really like, and then shifting, and then adding and subtracting, lots of different things, and then all of a sudden all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're there. But you always know where you're going. I like to say, like in my career, like I've always wanted to be an artist, and even though I did slightly different things, I always knew where the mountain was.
Mhm.
And is that where I wanted to be? And as long as I'm moving in that general direction toward that mountain, whether I'm painting or drawing or sketching or doing commercial graphic design work, even dancing, I see it as a creative
Yeah.
endeavor. It's still not losing sight of that mountain,
Yeah.
Yeah.
moving or drifting toward it, whether I'm walking backwards toward it or walking forwards toward it or walking laterally
Or
toward it.
grapevine.
I'm
Yeah.
still
Yep.
and I think that goes back to what you were saying earlier. Like you have to be self-fulfilled. Like you have to know. And thankfully, like I kind of have always known I wanted to do that kind of thing, something art related. There was never any doubt in my mind, like what I wanted to do. That was it. Like I never thought, should I do this or maybe I want to do that? And it was never really even monetarily driven.
No.
I was fortunate to be able to learn and work and put in my time and then be moved up within the company because I earned it, because I learned and I earned as I was working on the job.
Nice.
Right.
So
Yep.
it helps, and some people need either an experience or a life-changing event to kind of shock them into change or to get them to kind of finally realize. But like however it happens, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're making our own path either way.
Yeah. And
Yes.
you're right. It doesn't always fit into a traditional way. I mean, we don't have kids.
Mhm.
I was married prior, and then
Mhm.
I had this one in dance class, and he had never been married before, and boy,
So
I threw him right into it, right?
So my story was I got into dance because of a girl.
Uh-huh.
Thought about dancing, right? I never thought about dancing before, although
Breakdancing,
I was breakdancing in '84.
when you're kids.
Right.
I ran with that crowd. I bought the Nike. I wore the headband. I was into breaking. Exactly.
Spin
Yeah.
around.
And I was told, don't spin on your head because you're going to break your neck like this kid. So there goes dancing out the door. But I went to dance class with a girl, but then when she stopped going, I decided that, I actually like dancing for dancing,
Mhm.
not trying to hook up.
Yeah.
So I stuck with it. And I kept doing it. There was like a real legitimate curiosity with body movement. And at that time, YouTube was still new, and I would Google West Coast swing, and I'd see dancers doing West Coast swing, and I'd be like, wow, that's kind of cool. I like the way he moves. And it from a almost like maybe like martial arts kind of employing a tactic of like, moving your core, your posture, you move half your body. So there's real technical aspects to it, which I found really, really cool. So I saw it as an art form. So then I pursued it, and then I go to class, and
I moved to Monterey, and I go to dance class, and I go,
there she
hello.
was on that Sunday night wearing a white top, capri, stonewashed jeans. I could see her ankles, and she was there selling me 2 of her CDs, buy one, get one free, special rate for friends only. And
Marketing.
I remember that night.
And I didn't think you noticed me.
And that was the same. That was the same ballroom. We got married.
That's awesome.
Well, when I was there, and she was there. There was times when I was doing salsa. She was doing a lot of salsa. She was seeing someone else at the time, and I was still going and dancing. And then for a time, like I stopped going because I got so ridiculously busy at work. Like I think in 1 week I had like 30 hours of overtime, which is probably not all that uncommon working in the prison system. As a guard, they probably want to offer you as many hours as you can work, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just working too much. Let me go back to dance. And
I ditched the guy that I was dating, and there I was available.
Yeah.
And we were friends, and it was like, hey,
Yeah.
I kind of like you.
And the rest is history. Here we are. We were in this dance. We've been in it for 13 years, I think, together. 10 of it married. And in that time, we've been teachers. We're always students, but we've been asked to teach, like in Maui and Hawaii.
In Florida.
And we've gone to dance competitions and competed. We were like.
So if you guys have an event, you want some dance instructors for the couples, we'd have some fun.
Actually, we would love that.
We
talked about that, incorporating that into our coaching, like offering that, because like Melanie said, it does teach couples to work together.
Yeah.
And it teach women, some women to, learn how to be led.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to lead, sometimes you have to be led.
Yep, 100%.
No, we love that. We would love that.
That's awesome.
We have actually done a dance workshop called Teamwork Makes the Dream Work.
Ooh.
And we took a bunch of non-dancers and we gave them high fives, and we were just having so much fun. And at first they were like scared to death. They loved it.
Of course.
So,
yeah.
Dance
to play.
fun. And then you're right, Anthony, when a song comes on and you could just boost a move in the bar and everyone's like, that's what happens.
And
You'll get there. You'll get there.
And and we love dancing anyway. We're like that couple where you go somewhere and in the middle of the restaurant there's a couple dancing and everybody's sitting down.
Yeah,
that's us.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna hang out with you guys because we're the same. All right. I love the similarities with the amazing Clarks.
We'll do it. We'll do it. I can't wait until when this COVID is all.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We miss doing it.
Yeah, our lives revolved around at one point every Friday night, realizing like, okay, the week is officially done. It's hard to tell these days when the week ends and when it starts, right?
Mondays feel like Sundays.
Yeah, but Friday we'd go to this one place that we loved when it was around, and it was like, okay, this is the start of the weekend, Friday night.
Yeah.
And we got like a bar that we would go to, live music 7 nights a week. We could say, okay, it's 7 o'clock. The band's about to get on in about an hour. Let's go get our table and get our drink. And we have a community of it. So it's like, if you ever get into this West Coast swing dancing, and we obviously push West Coast swing a lot because we love it.
Sorry.
There are like pockets of people that will go out, and some of them are couples. A lot of them are not.
And we'll just rotate. So they don't have to be. They don't have to be married.
Yeah.
They don't have to be in a couple
You
relationship.
go together, you
we
own that
dance.
floor.
We social dance with everybody.
Nice. I love. So now that COVID is hit, do you guys still dance? Do you dance at home?
Together, we do. Yeah.
Okay.
If you go to our website or go on Facebook, you'll see we've been putting up almost like weekly videos just so that we can keep our own like dance prowess, I guess, going, or just off.
Yeah.
Part of it too is just to maintain like a visual, like we're still here. We do this. We do a weekly Saturday night. Same thing here, kind of go-to meeting, hangout. People can log on and we can check on each other or talk.
That's awesome.
see how we're doing, and just to continue promoting it.
Because it will come back.
It will come back. We want to
100.
keep it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
you are awesome. I love that. And you know what? I call that, we call it spreading love. When you are living your best life and you are showing up and sharing that with people, you're spreading love. You're showing them that love is possible. You're showing them fun, connection. And I think it's super important when we do have love that we show up and we share it, because the world needs more of it. So I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome.
And you know, you guys already know how amazing it is when you're in love with your partner and you're following your passion and you share that passion together.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's beautiful.
it's beautiful. It's nothing better than that.
Yep.
And it's like we're actually getting paid to do what we love and to be together.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. We've
Yeah.
been paid on more than one occasion to do what we love, which is great.
Yeah.
It helps you to want to, continue doing it for sure. But if you're doing it from in the first place from your heart because you enjoy doing it,
Yeah.
I mean,
We
Yeah.
love it.
We love it.
You don't have to ask us to get up and stand
No.
and dance.
And,
No.
and quite frankly, if we calculated all the money that we put into dance lessons and all just learning, we could have bought a house by now.
That's awesome.
We're so happy to share that with others that it's just, you're right. And I'm so excited to know you guys. Seriously, I really look forward to being able to sit across the dinner table with you and really just connect, because you guys really are the amazing Clarks. You really are. Yeah.
Thank you. Let me warn you though, when you meet us in person, we're a lot taller than people think we are.
We're giants.
Okay.
Okay.
We're both over 6 feet tall. So
Right. So I'm like 6'5", she's 6'1".
Fantastic. Okay, well that's awesome.
That's awesome.
You know what's cool is that so when we teach you a tuck or a duck, then it won't be a problem, because when there's a huge height difference, it can be a little challenging. But since you guys are about the same height, that'll be really ideal. Yay!
yeah, awesome.
Awesome. I just keep saying awesome.
I know, right? And amazing.
I love you guys.
Yeah, it's a
Love
great.
you guys. You guys are great.
See, I love it. Thank you guys. I know time is up and we have to get going, but tell us how we get a hold of you. How do we get marriage counseling or personal counseling?
Yeah, where
from
should
you?
we send people to?
Where
What's
do
the
we
website?
send?
Yeah.
And tell us all about your shows. Like, please just spill your guts, because we want to make sure people find the amazing Clarks.
Okay, so you can find us through our website, theamazingclarks.com. And then all of our handles on social media are at The Amazing Clarks, obviously. We have our own social media handles. I'm Melanie, The Amazing Clark on Instagram. He's Anthony, The Amazing Clark on Instagram. And as far as coaching and consulting, you can reach us through our website or send us a message on social media, and we will follow up with you and see if we're a good fit and make it happen.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
I love it.
Excellent.
And any parting advice that you have for anybody? Because you guys really are incredible and amazing and awesome.
Thanks.
Advice. You know, we have a saying that we like to share with people when it comes to, like, even with the COVID, relationships, life. And in life, you're always on this one level, and you're always striving to get to higher levels. Whether it's relationships, you want higher levels of love, commitment. Whether it's business, more levels of success, no matter what it is. And you're going to always face challenges. And how you approach those challenges is going to make a huge difference. So we always try to remind people that how are you going to reach those higher levels? To go there, you have to grow there. To go there, you have to grow there. So those challenges are presented and put in front of you, not as a punishment, but as an opportunity for you to grow and expand. So it's not a curse, it's a blessing. But you got to grow there.
Yes.
I like it.
And I would add to that, have gratitude for every aspect of your life. even the stuff that you perceive as bad, because like Anthony says, that's where the growth is. And if we have gratitude for the parts that don't feel good, then we are able to get through them a lot easier, because we don't vilify ourselves or vilify our life. We recognize that life is energy, and energy never dies. It moves into form and out of form. And as the energy kind of takes a dip, that's the time to ask questions. What do I really want? What do I really need? What is happening here? What do I want? When we get what we don't want, it helps us to figure out what we do want. So have gratitude for the moments in your life when you're not getting what you want, because it's helping you get clear on what it is you actually do want.
Because your success is in your mess.
Yes.
Your success is in your mess.
Yes.
Oh, I heard that one, yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
I hear
They're
that one.
good.
You better stop us now, because
Yeah.
we'll go all night.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Just thank you so much.
Very, very much. Truly, we're gonna share this with the world, and you guys really are fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
for
you so
time
much.
with us. We love you, and truly, I cannot wait till we get to see them in person. Oh my gosh.
Same here. Yeah, that would be great to meet
The
both of you.
same here. And you know what? What you guys are doing is great, because
Mhm.
one of our things is that it's important for for individuals to see happy relationships and that relationships work.
Yep.
And we've done like surveys over the years, and we've asked people, like, out of all the couples you've met in your lifetime, how many of them have had a relationship, a long-term relationship, where you were like, I want that kind of relationship? The average person has only met 2 couples in their entire lifetime. 2.
Yeah.
So who are they modeling themselves after?
There are so many more, and we know a lot of them. So maybe it's because of the dancing. I don't know. Or maybe
Yeah.
like attract like. We tend to attract people that are happy. So
Mhm.
that's kind of sad, that statistic.
Oh,
So
we gotta change.
But what you guys are doing is great, because by you showing up and putting yourselves out there like that,
You're highlighting them.
you're showing them that it exists. And we're doing the same thing.
Mhm.
And so we're out there. We just have to show up and be a little louder and
Yeah.
share ourselves like you guys are doing.
Yes, exactly. So good job,
Good
guys.
job.
We
So
appreciate
thank you. We want to thank you guys.
All right.
thank you
Go
guys.
enjoy.
Mwah. Have
All
a
right.
wonderful evening.
We'll-
and
We'll see you guys soon.
yes.
All right.
See you soon.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.